morning show. Hey, the time right now is about 13 before the top of the hour, y'all. We got the one and only, man. I don't know if y'all watch A&E's First 48. First 48 is my, Rock.
Yes, sir.
You see that episode of First 48, Detective Chris Anderson on there? When that dude tried to lie and put it on his mama.
Yo, mama?
What? What'd he say, Rob?
He said, yo, mama?
I done seen a whole lot of things over the years. But, yo, mama?
Come on, man.
We're gonna start playing that clip. We got to reenact that. We got to play that clip. Man, hey. Super Dad, you don't see the episode of First 48?
Yes.
The dude that ran over somebody with the car and tried to blame his mama's Detective Anderson said, he said, I done seen a whole lot of things over the years. Then he paused. He said, but yo, mama? Hey, Chris, Detective Anderson, do people tease you about that, man?
Man, I get it all the time, man, all the time. And the funny thing is, his mama was outside fussing and arguing and yelling at us about how her son didn't do it and trying to protect him while he ended up throwing her under the bus.
What?
Man. It was, I mean, she was going in on us, man, because we tore up the car and all that other stuff, but it was blood in the car. It was evidence, so. But yeah, man, I get it all the time. All the time.
Man, got a brand new show right now on A&E called what is it?
It's Reasonable Doubt. It's Reasonable Doubt on Investigation Discovery.
Yeah, Investigation Discovery, Reasonable Doubt. Make sure y'all watch it and check them out, man. Happy to have you on this morning talking about 5 things that you need to know. If you are driving your car right now, you need to listen up. With everything that's going on in the world these days, you really need to know what happened if you get pulled over while you're driving. Right now, Detective Anderson, I'm so excited to have him on. 5 things you need to know, man. Take us through it, man.
Okay, so listen, most folks don't know this, but you are perfectly within your right to record a police traffic stop. If an officer asks you to stop recording, then you can respectfully tell him, look, officer, I'll stop recording when the traffic stop is over. So there are a lot of things that you can do to record that traffic stop. You can be like my brother, Rickey Smiley, and go and get your family some of those traffic cams that you can mount on your car. Or if you're an iPhone user, you can download this iPhone app or this shortcut that where you can tell Siri, I'm about to be stopped by police, or I'm being pulled over, and the iPhone will begin to record you as you're during your traffic stop. So yeah, it happens, and it does a lot, man. But it's a shortcut that you have to have. I downloaded mine yesterday. I put it on my son's phone also. So I would suggest that everyone download, if you have an iPhone, I don't know about Android, but if you download that app, I would suggest you go ahead and start using it now. It's very important. It does a lot during a traffic stop. With that said,
wow,
what do you do? What do you do when you're being stopped by police? I always tell my kids, whenever I'm doing my mentoring sessions, I tell them, keep both hands on the steering wheel at all times. An officer, when he walks to your vehicle and sees your hands on the steering wheel, it allows him to feel as though you're less of a threat. Now, when I say this, most of the time I'm hit with, what about Philando Castile? And I look, it's a tough time for me in law enforcement, but I'm uninhibited when it comes to calling out police officers when they do something wrong. In the Philando Castile case, I think these officers were extremely wrong. I think that they should be spending the rest of their lives in prison, and I think that the jury got it wrong. So, and I can't make any arguments. I can't say anything else outside of that when it comes to a case like that. But I also always please instruct your children, and you as a driver, please keep your hands on the wheels at all times. Now, the next
tip Chris,
yes,
hold on. Don't hang up, y'all. I got to bring you back on the other side, y'all. Hey, listen, if you want to get those last 3, we got Detective Chris Anderson going to tell you 5 things you need to know in the last 3 coming up next. Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
What's up?
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, 5 things you need to know. We got Detective Chris Anderson on with us this morning. So excited, man. Y'all make sure if you have teenagers, you got a kid that drive, you write this down and make sure your kid, and we're going to isolate this and put this on the official Rickey Smiley website so y'all can hear it. Detective Chris Anderson. Hey, give a cap the first 2 real quick so for everybody that's just waking up, and then give us the last 3.
Got you. I always say keep both hands on the steering wheel at all times. You know, it will always, officers recognize hands as less of a threat. When they can see them on the wheel, you're less of a threat. And number 2, if you need to grab your wallet or identification, always announce to the officer what you are about to do. Officer, I'm about to go inside of my back pocket or in my wallet or in my glove compartment to grab my identification. Always do that before you remove your hands from the steering wheel. That's utterly important. And my next tip, you can question while you're being stopped, but I would suggest you wait until after you've given him your credentials. During a traffic stop, people who seek to do harm to officers usually don't want to be identified. And if you have nothing to hide, turn over your identification, and a good police officer will answer any questions that you have. My final tip is don't argue with an officer on the streets. Arguing during a traffic stop only prolongs a tense situation, and it will escalate that already tense situation.
Say it one more time, Chris.
I never suggest arguing with an officer out on the streets. Never argue, because it intensifies an already tense situation. So you can make your arguments when you go to court. If this officer was rude or disrespectful to you out on the streets, then you can make that argument in front of his supervisor, because, like I said in the beginning, you always can record your interactions with police. You can do that. So take that recording and you report him to his supervisor, because, look, that is one way we can weed out the bad officers in our field. That's one way. Now, I got plenty more. I'll post those on my social media, but that's one way we can weed out some of the bad officers.
All right, Detective Anderson, let everybody know how you can be reached, because we about to go to your social media, and you got videos and everything giving people helpful tips on how to stay safe, especially if you have a teenager. And by the way, I got a camera for your son. If you ain't already gotten one, I bought a bunch of them. I got one for him. I just forgot to call you and tell you to give it to you. But let everybody know how you can be followed.
I can be followed on all social media at Detective Chris Anderson. I'm on Instagram. I'm on, I hadn't done that TikTok, but I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and I'm on Twitter.
Hey, make sure y'all follow Detective Chris Anderson. He got helpful tips, helpful videos, all of his information on there. He will reply and answer any question that you have. Detective Chris Anderson. Hey, man, appreciate you, man. Proud of you. Congratulations. Love you, man.